go very much specifically into what spiritual beings there are, and we're going to go. Some of them we've gone through, and some of them are fairly known. Spirit guides are one that we've done before in one of the season or the section 2 intuitive readings 2 lessons. So ancestors and healing guide, or ancestors and guides we have done. So spirit guides and ancestors we've dealt with. Spirit guides being those people that had a physical life before that are helping us now. Ancestors, people that were related to us in some way, or even sometimes people non-related to us that's passed over into spirit and then acts as guides or helpers to us. Then we have healing guides. Healing guides, you can call forward in different times, so we can access healing guides. We are going to go into this in a little bit more detail, so not needed to say too much about it, but we can access different guides, or people that have passed on, that have got that have had really profound healing abilities. We can access those healing abilities now, and we can call them forward to get some healing done for someone else. Then we have angels. I think I'll go into it in more detail, but the angelic realm, I think, has got a very distinct place and purpose, and my view is that this is not something that you go and mess with. The angels have tasks already. They have definite ways in which they work. When angels are around you, it's for a specific purpose, and they're there for a reason. If you want to call them forward, I would say do so with caution. Ask first if it's allowed, and if this is the time for angels to be called forward first. I've had dealings with a guy that had a lot to do with the occult, and he was saying that angels by nature are generally very scary, and I kind of share the sentiment in that. The thing that I would say about angels is that if you have a really serious illness, you have a very serious medication that you take, and you operate on the extreme end of what the physical world can offer you. Sometimes you need really extreme kind of meditations or things to bring things back. Things like PTSD, they do very different treatments, because it's very difficult to deal with those type of situations. In the same way, angels also operate on the extreme end of things, and don't just call them forward for general purpose types of things. I think have respect for their role and for what they are, and don't just mess them around. Not a good idea. Deities, we believe in, and a lot of them carry a lot of weight from people that have faith in them and put attention to them. So deities are something that we can also call forward and deal with. We're also going to go into this, and deities do have a lot of power. There are a lot of deities that are worshipped every day of every year but sometimes the entire person's life. So there is a lot of people on earth right now, and then there's a lot of worship going on, and these deities have a lot of significance in our lives generally. So always know that you can use them. I know Jesus is one of them that I find is always there and always helping, and he's helped me quite a lot. So and not just him, but there are others as well that also help. So you can have your favorites and call them for whatever purpose you need. Okay, ascended masters. Well, those are people that have mastered a whole lot of skills in this life, and you can call them forward. There are a lot of saints in this. There are people that have reached different levels of mastery. You can read up on it, or you can do more of a call on saying, well, what is available to you, and have your guides help you with picking the right masters to teach you and to send information to you. The next one is collectives, and collectives needs a little bit of explaining. The easiest one is Esther Hicks has got a collective called Abram, that is a collection of a whole lot of souls that then speak through one voice to her, and she then conveys the message to others, or she basically channels this entity and gives messages to other people. We also have aliens. Aliens can also be aliens that have passed on, so it's also in spirit, and We can always have alien collectives as well. So, and they more communicate through telepathy. So it's not really easy to. They will show gestures, or they will have a telepathic way of communicating to you that you just know what they want you to know. So it's not really that they say something or that you hear it. Okay, so this is also possible. Then we have baby beings. Baby beings are a lot to do with conception and with people that really want to get pregnant. A lot of the times it's baby beings that are hanging around them and trying to get them to fall pregnant. They're generally at parties where there's a lot of alcohol. Just kidding, but they bring people to those places in order for them to fall pregnant, or they kind of get immersed into a relationship and get pregnant. Also, one of the other things is that you could have like these baby beings around you, specifically people that have had miscarriages, and for this reason is not really someone that promotes abortion at all. I would say I really promote education as far as the menstrual cycle is concerned, and I think if you really know your menstrual cycle, if you're a female, then you can really predict at which point in the month, which is a really small section of it, you have to kind of lock yourself in your room and keep your jeans zipped up. And this is something that's really easy to do. It takes a little bit of discipline, but can be done, and can prevent anything else. But if you do have an abortion, there's a possibility that you can have a spirit hanging around you, or you can have something in your space, specifically in the second chakra. And I would say that if you had a lot of abortions, I would really say that it would take a considerable amount of time to deal with the impact that you've caused yourself, both on a physical and a spiritual level, and psychological and thought and so on. So for that reason, I think there's not enough counseling, there's not enough information available to really help people. And for that reason, I would say rather keep yourself in the know and know your body, and stay away from things like abortions, and specifically people that you know as well. Okay, then dark entities. I kind of find really interesting. One of the things, we're going to go through it a little bit, because is seen as negative, and absolutely it's not really great, but there's purpose behind them, and there's purpose for what they do, and it's not one-sided, of course. So dark entities do exist. For every positive aspect there's a negative aspect. The world is one of balance, and everything balances out ultimately. So just look at nature spirits quick. Nature spirits are spirits that are in nature. Fairies are one of them. Fairies are not really very positive, not seen as such. In Ireland, a whole entire highway was diverted because there's a fairy tree, and people refused to build a highway anywhere near it because they did not want to unsettle fairies. So, and they're not seen as generally very positive. They can be a little bit different. I've seen some nature spirits around people that I've done readings for. They were very interesting, and they help with nature, in fact. So if you have a vegetable garden and you've a nature spirit that you've got around you, well, could be that a lot of things work in your favor. So you make the best of it. Walk-ins is another one. Walk-ins is one of those that is very interesting. If you look at one of the ones is people that have suffered really serious bouts of abuse. A lot of the times they are so disconnected from themselves and try and escape their body so much that they make space for something else to take the place, and that walk-in would generally take over the life, and sometimes their whole life changes after that. You get people that are locked into bouts of prostitution, drugs, alcohol, and so on, and they would then also, or you can have like an immense trauma where people live through a trauma that's so bad that they don't recover from it, and they vacate their body and something else takes over. So this does happen. There is this possibility, and you can swap your spirit for something else. Walk-ins can also be temporary. People can have someone taking their place temporarily and act in their stead, so that they don't feel the intense kind of interaction between them and someone else. They actually call those things in to take their place in a moment like that. Generally, if you experience a lot of pain or you're in a very serious health state, It is said, and I've experienced it, where people leave their bodies and they're in almost like a spiritual state already, and they leave their body. So if you think somebody really suffered in the last part of their life, where they were really sick or ill, oftentimes they've already vacated their bodies, and it's really just a shell that you're looking at. So not really too much to be concerned about. We don't always have the capacity of knowing the position of someone else. As people, we always want to climb in there and tell everyone we know everything, and we all knowing and all feeling, and the best judge and the best jury and executioner. We judge dread of the world, and I think that's a great falsity. Live your own life, walk your own path, and stay out of the paths and lives of other people. Let them do that. You have one life to live, and live that one. I don't think it's necessary to live somebody else's life. Okay, so a little bit of a preaching at the end there, but generally these are the spiritual entities we're just going to quickly look at. So there are quite a lot.